Okay, I'm Amy Kelly, and I will be playing the part of the therapist.
I'm Brandy White. I'm playing the client.
Great. Welcome, Brandy. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah?
A little nervous.
Okay, me too. Cool.
All right.
We're together. Sweet. So, what would you like to talk about? Is there anything on your mind in particular?
Well, actually, I came to talk to you today. So at my job, they've been pressuring me for quite a few weeks now to kind of step up and take a supervisor role.
Okay.
Right now, I'm the assistant supervisor, and I've just been really hesitant. Honestly, I think it's a great opportunity. I think it'd be so much fun and like a huge change and a huge opportunity for growth. But honestly, I'm terrified. I'm not a leader, so to speak, in that I lead more by action rather than telling people what to do and delegating, and that's what a lot of this is about. And I'm really bad at that, and really bad at doing that whole corrective thing when I just want to like coddle people and be like, it's okay, you can do it better next time, you got this. But I know this role would require me to really step that up, and personally I'm unsure whether or not I can do that. And at the same time, I'm kind of worried, like, if I don't take this position, like, what are they going to think of me and my abilities? How are they going to perceive me as an employee? Like, if there comes a time where this opportunity opens up again where I feel more ready, are they even going to consider me? Or is this kind of my, like, this is your shot, and if you don't take it, you're done?
Okay.
So that's where I'm at.
Gotcha. So it sounds like there's a lot of fear. I hear a lot of fear in taking the job, and I hear a lot of fear in not taking the job.
Pretty much.
Okay. So you can tell me a little bit more about like what the job is and what your day-to-day looks like at the job.
Alright, so like as a I work overnights at a mental health facility for adolescents. So my job would basically just be overseeing the whole facility, every shift, which is about a 100-bed facility. It's, I think we're up to 90 units now. And making sure every kiddo is okay, making sure all my coworkers are okay. If there's anything that goes wrong, like I'm the head honcho, so to speak. I'd be the one responsible. If clients ran, if there's a fire, if like all these things that have happened in the past, if they were to happen on my shift, like I'd be the one responsible. I'd be the one calling the shots. And then like day to day is basically just checking up on all the units twice a night, working out the scheduling for the morning, working out the scheduling for the evening. If any clients are having issues, getting them settled down or moving them to different units. A lot of paperwork, which is the easiest part of the job. It's glorious. Just providing that communication with all of the units as well as with other supervisors and managers. And doing a lot of the training for new hires, doing a lot of the follow-up training and assessments of what are now my coworkers, but will soon be my supervisees, maybe. There's a lot of different.
Yeah, it sounds like you have like a lot of different like admin, management.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot wrapped into one little ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So, what would be the major differences between your current position and the proposed position?
So my current position, like, I do what my supervisors do when my supervisors are on vacation. Most of the time, though, I just sit on a unit, and that's my unit. Those are my kids. Like, that's all I have to worry about. Another big thing is just, like right now, I do all the training already for my overnight team. But the other big difference would be like those assessments, those reviews, if there's any disciplinary problems, like that.
So a lot more management
Yeah.
in terms of, okay. Training, okay. Gotcha. So, has there been someone in that supervisor position previously?
Yeah.
Okay. And in terms of watching that person and seeing how they function, do you feel like you were able to learn from them?
Yeah.
There's things
for me, I guess what's the hardest is like my supervisor right now. She's gonna be promoted to a manager, so
Okay.
I'd be filling her spot. And to be honest, she is like amazing. And like I definitely know I couldn't fill those shoes. We have very like she runs a tight ship. She gets everything done. I think what is going on is just a lot of comparison, like knowing that my style is very different from hers, and knowing that I could never fill those shoes in that way, and like just worrying about how the team would respond to me as their new supervisors, because I'm the quiet one that likes to mess around and really not take anything seriously, and it'd just be a huge adjustment all around for pretty much everyone.
Okay. So you have fear in are like your current coworkers who would then you would become their supervisor, and how they would adjust to you versus your current supervisor. Do you have fear of what your current supervisor,
Yeah.
what she would think of you or how she would view you?
I don't think so. Like,
Okay.
she knows my style. We have a great working relationship. I've learned that she's been my mentor for the last year and a half. Like, we're solid.
And is she the one who's asking you to step up into this position?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is it like for you to hear that someone who you really respect and look up to is asking you to come up into this position?
It feels really awesome. It's not a great descriptor, but it works. No, it feels great. It feels like they have a lot of confidence in me. I guess looking past all those fears, the more core fear is just I'm worried that they'll see me like how I see me in my job. Like, I'm very much that perfectionist. Kind of like it comes back to that competency thing again. And that they'll actually see that I'm not as good as they think I might be. And that I will like kind of screw that up. And that's kind of like the underlying fear is just screwing everything up.
Yeah, that's great that you can like identify that. So your fear is that you aren't good enough at your job.
Yeah.
And that other people might see that.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're at your job day to day, how do you think that you're not doing the job as well as you could?
Yes.
Or as you should?
Yes.
Okay. What makes you think that?
I don't know, I just, I think that, like for me, like, my rapport with the kids or like the amount of work I get done, while I do acknowledge that it is substantial and that my rapport is really great with the kids, that there's so much left that's always left undone at the end of the day, or that I find those like tiny little mistakes that I just kind of nitpick at. I focus on those rather than the wins.
Okay. Yeah.
That answers your question.
Yeah, no, it did. Yeah, I asked you what you felt
There
like
you
was enough. Okay. So it sounds like you want to be perfect at your job.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a realistic expectation?
Not at all.
Okay. Do you think other people expect you to be perfect at your job?
Not at all.
Okay. Have you ever had conversations with your supervisor about feeling like you're inadequate? And what were those conversations like?
Pretty much just kind of questioning her decision, like, are you sure you want me to do this? Like, and pointing out all these mistakes. I think her exact words were, shut up, yes, you can do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So even through those conversations, that fear persists.
Yeah.
So worst case scenario, like you make a tiny mistake, like what happens? Like, why is that a failure?
I'm not really sure. Yeah, I got nothing. I think I just kind of magnify it in my mind. To be way more than it should be. Like, just like miscommunicating. Like this client had bad boundaries with this client today. Just in my mind, I just like magnify like, oh my gosh, if they have an incident, then it's all my fault, even though because I didn't tell anyone, rather than just being like, oh, I forgot to tell someone. It's probably gonna happen anyway. And I guess just being more mindful and keeping that in check is kind of the more positive approach.
Right. Yeah, I think there's like a realistic expectation for that. But also, what about thinking about, do you ever think about your coworkers the way you think about yourself?
Oh, no.
Okay, so what would it be like for you to kind of step back and look at yourself in the same way that you would watch and observe a coworker?
Be interesting. Maybe with a lot more just understanding and compassion.
Right. So thinking about the expectations you have for yourself, do you think they're realistic expectations? So do you want to change your expectations?
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Okay, so that's kind of, we've been talking about like your fear in taking the job, right? So then let's talk about your fear in not taking the job. What is that? Tell me a little bit more about that.
I guess in that, I just be missing a great opportunity. I just be able to, cause like right now I just work with my one, like I love my girls, but we have so many more clients that I could be working with, that I could be interacting with, and this gives me that opportunity, and it gives me that opportunity to work with like a variety of clinicians and a variety of other people that I really don't come into contact with that much as it is.
Okay.
And I think having that supervisory experience would definitely push me out of my comfort zone, and help me to develop my professional skills. And so, like, not taking that, I would be missing out on that huge opportunity. And also, I think I have a lot of ideas and insights that could potentially be utilized within the company to help our clients and help our staff feel more safe and more comfortable. And in that role, I could be more heard, but once again, if I don't take that, then there's that fear that like I won't be taken seriously and I won't be able to make those connections.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is that your fear of not taking the job is really like pros for taking the job.
Indeed.
Like, because every time it's like, well, I'm afraid that if I don't, then this awesome thing will happen.
Fair enough.
That feels like a lot of weight to me. It feels like a lot of like desire, and I don't know, I hear passion in your voice, even of like wanting to have more influence and input in things that are going on. Is that true?
Definitely. It would be really cool to be able to share in those bigger ideas rather than just the day of clean your rooms and take your meds. And I really have in the past like enjoyed when like my supervisors are like, I get to kind of run around and pretend to be knowledgeable on what's going on in life. It's a lot of fun.
Okay, so you've had opportunities to kind of pretend like you're in this position.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me some more about when you did that.
Honestly, for the most part, it's really fun. You do a lot less work, but you have a lot more responsibility. I don't know how that works out, but going with it. I know, but there have been times like where I have been in charge, and it's terrifying.